Hey guys, Captain Smash, Smash the Strength Lab, Ottawa, Ontario. So today's topic is the health and fitness scale. So to break this all down to you, how much do you have to exercise to get to an elite level, and is it safe or is it healthy? So now there's a lot of chitter chatter on the interwebs saying that, you gotta be super fit, you gotta look like this, you gotta be able to perform like this. And the truth of the matter is, the higher level up you go in fitness, the more you risk your health. And the lower end of the spectrum where you're not exercising, also the higher your health risk. So bottom line, most people want to shoot for somewhere in between. So back behind me, I have a little scale that I like to call the health and fitness scale. Basically, this shows you that at a certain level, you're going to be doing great things for your body, great things for your health, increasing your muscle mass, bone mineral density, improving your cardiovascular health, all of that good stuff. So on the lower end, with the non-exercises that we have down here, we're performing like 0 exercise per day, right? So I've got this set up for either time and effort or elite status on the far end of the right and non-exercising on the left. And then on the horizontal axis, we have health and longevity, with the higher point being more optimal health, and then the lower point being more poor health and related consequences. So now, as you can see, this is kind of a bell-shaped curve, right? So as humans, we have an optimal level of physical fitness that we can attain and that we can improve our health. But at a certain point, we start to see this gradual decline to the point where, if we're in the elite status, we're going to show diminishing returns and an inability to recover. So basically, this scale says that you can only train so hard for so long to get to an elite level, and to maintain that, it's going to be relatively unhealthy. That's the long and short of it. So exercising for a minimal amount of time is not going to benefit your health at all, and then exercising too much is also going to be detrimental to your health. So ballpark, we want to be somewhere right in here, right? And I always like to associate this with a number of days training, or at least working out vigorously hard on your fitness, weightlifting, running, sprinting, that type of stuff. So overall, most people want to fall in the realm of training 3 to 5 times a week in order to get into this really nice section of the scale where we're getting the performance benefits, we're getting the increased muscle mass, we're getting the benefits out of our health and cardiovascular system, but we're not seeing this gradual decline on the other end of the spectrum where we're pushing our bodies beyond the point where they can recover from. So now, you'll see this a lot in elite level athletes. Like, it takes a lot of sacrifice to get to that elite level. So let's put it into a different perspective. Let's take bodybuilding, for example, okay? So elite level competitors, they're training about 6-7 days a week. So every day of the week, they're working out. So overall, over time, that's gonna have a really bad effect on their body, because they're not giving their body enough time to recover, and they're not taking advantage of that supercompensation effect where they can actually get into optimal levels of health. This is a primary example of how fitness is different than competitive sport. When you're in a competitive sport, you're putting more demands on the body. So this is why we pay football players and hockey players and baseball players and all those guys the big bucks, is because they're putting their bodies on the line. They're over here in the red line zone all the freaking time. I mean, you can't tell me that you can, push somebody to the very brink 7 days a week without having their career ended shortly. And this is proven because you only have a couple good years of playing football hard, of playing baseball hard, whatever sport it is, elite level cycling, gymnastics, whatever elite level sport it is, you're putting your body through the ringer all the time, and you're probably going to suffer irreparable damage at some point. That's a sacrifice those performance athletes have to make. So I do it as a powerlifter. I know that I'll never get to be that elite level powerlifter because I'm not willing to sacrifice my overall health for getting into that elite level category. I'm simply not willing to push myself to the point of breaking, because I like lifting. I want to keep my joints fairly healthy. I want to keep going for a long time. So, but if you want that elite level total, you're going to have to push the red line more often than you probably should. So now we go into the counter end of the spectrum. The people that are exercising 1-2 days a week, okay, yeah, you managed to get your ass up off of the couch for, a couple hours of light to moderate exercise. Is it benefiting your health? Sure. Are you going to be optimal level health? Not really. So ideally, you want to be somewhere in the, at least 2 to 4 or 5 times a week training. Whether that's a mixture of weights and kind of cardio, just weights, just cardio, you know, anything that you do is going to benefit your health on the scale, but it depends on your goals and what you want to actually achieve. Now, in terms of body comp changes, most of those people that are trying to do it 2 days a week, they're not going to be very successful, because number one, they can't burn enough calories in 2 days to really overamount the level of body fat accumulation that they probably have to burn off, and their diet's going to have to be smoking spot on in order to do that. Can it be done? Yes, of course it can be done. Anything can be done, but it's going to be that much more difficult if you're not somewhere in between the 3 to 5 days of exercising fairly vigorously for at least 30 minutes to an hour, and then also monitoring a little bit of your nutrition intake. So, and this level is very much achievable for everyone. I bet everybody can spare an hour out of their day at least 3 to 5 times a week in order to push themselves hard in the gym. Do a little bit of cardio, do a little bit of weights, probably a lot more weight training, just because it's more beneficial for you. It's going to enhance your muscle mass, get you a bigger metabolism. Basically, you're building a bigger engine, and you're going to look much, much better. But back to this other end of the scale, if you want to get into that physique level competitor looking like the elite level bodybuilders and the gals that are doing physique shows, you're going to tap into the red line, which is why it's very difficult for people to get these. And I get this all the time with people coming in and going, hey, I want to look like this picture, and they show me a picture of, you know, some, you know, gorgeous gal that's been lifting, you know, 6-7 days a week for, you know, 20 years, and I'm like, okay, right. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of work. You're really going to have to be pushing both not only the training cycle but the nutrition cycle too. Is it feasible? Maybe, but I mean, it's going to be a lot of work. You're going to have to live and breathe this stuff. It's not going to be, and number two, it's not going to be all that healthy for you. So especially if you're trying to go from, you know, non-exercising 1 or 2 days a week and up into 6 or 7 days a week, it's just not going to be very sustainable over the long term. So what I try to get my people to do is, okay, realize where you're at, start building up from there, and then maintain this middle section of the curve. That way you're promoting a good level of optimal health, but you're also getting the benefits out of the strength, the mobility, the muscle mass, and getting an increased metabolism right out of the gate. That way you're never really going into the red line, or if you are, you're only going in for a very short amount of time, and then you're kind of pulling back. So it's all about finding that right level. And if you're always in the red line, well, you're headed for disaster eventually down the road, because eventually your body's going to break and shut down and go, hey, I'm not doing this anymore. Sorry. You know, you're on your own. And then you're going to be miserable because you can't train. You're going to, you know, want to eat everything in sight because, you know, now you're not burning calories, but I'm still hungry. So then you're going to go way back down to the other end of the scale and back into the unhealthy realm. So, you know, key takeaway, how fit do you want to get really is going to depend on, hey, how much time do you want to spend in the red line, and how much are you willing to sacrifice in order to get in there. If you're not willing to sacrifice very much, hey, it's very easy to, you know, get a ballpark level of fitness 2 to 3 days a week. You know, you can improve upon your health, you'll feel better, you move better. But if you really want to be fairly competitive, perform high, have a good body comp, look really good, maybe not like an elite level figure model, but, you know, still, you know, be able to wear a little black dress or walk out on the beach without your shirt off, you know, hey, for 3 to 5 days a week training, you're right in the ballpark. So, hey, just a little consideration piece for you. Hope you enjoyed this presentation. The health and fitness scale, hey, it really works. If you like this video, give it a like. If somebody else might like it, give it a share, and I will chat with you soon.